Hello everyone, how are we doing? It is Friday morning and this video is going up tomorrow, so I think I'm doing pretty well in getting it done on time. Please ignore this wonderful red spot that decided to show its ugly face this morning. That was fun. I have almost finished my hot chocolate, which you'll hear about in the vlog coming in a week and a bit. It's really good hot chocolate, I won't lie. Before I start this video, I just want to add kind of a little warning at the beginning of this. If any of you out there are uncomfortable with words like suicide or sexual abuse or domestic abuse, then I will put another little note in this video, but you might not want to listen to the second half of this video, just in case it's triggering or upsetting for any of you watching. So, I had a lecture the other day. I had a lecture yesterday actually, and it was all about feminism and the gender bias and gender in general, and it was really interesting. It was one of those lectures where I was actually really fully invested with what was going on. So like with my evolution of the selfie video that I did probably almost a year ago now, where again I kind of went through what happened in our lecture and what we spoke about, what we discussed, I'm going to do the same for this lecture. I've written down about 4 pages of notes for this video that I want to be able to discuss with you guys. First of all, I'm gonna lay out some facts for you that we were given right at the start of the presentation. So our lecturer gave us these facts. Only 20 to 25% of political roles are filled by women. And I think that's crazy, considering the countries in the world that are led by women have the lowest coronavirus death rates and spread rates. That's crazy to me. In the creative industry, only 36 to 37% of roles are filled by women, and equally in the creative industry, there's still a pay gap of about 26%, which seems insane to me, really insane. And I hope by the time I actually go to work in the creative industry, that will be better, that will be resolved. We were then asked as a question on the PowerPoint, what aspects of my identity do I consider as most significant? So the first straight off the bat thing that I said was my pink hair, because I think that's pretty obvious. That's a pretty obvious like identifier. Then I moved on to saying a determined, hardworking young woman wanting to be in the creative industry. But before I wrote that, I also said plus size. But I did put in brackets and gorgeous. So it literally says in my notebook, plus size, brackets and gorgeous. And I thought about that this morning. And when I went through my notebook, I thought, why do I consider the fact that I'm plus size as an identity trait? The fact that I'm plus size is not an identity trait, it's not a personality trait. It's a physical trait, but it's not an identity trait. It does not affect my personality. Regardless of what size I am, I still want to be that determined, hard-working young woman that wants to be in the creative industry. That's not going to change because of my size, ever. And it occurred to me this morning when I read back through my lecture notebook, I wondered why I wrote that, because it's not a personality trait at all. Then we moved on to talk about how throughout history the system of gender has always favoured men over women. So our lecturer gave us the example of Aristotle and his Pythagorean table of opposites. So it's like the opposites of words. So unlimited is opposite to limited, even is opposite to odd. But then men were listed on that kind of more positive side, like the unlimited, even, male. And then women were labelled on the more limited and restricted side of that table. So limited, odd, female. Then there's kind of the idea that women are weaker because in the Bible, it literally says that Eve was the one that gave into temptation right at the start. And that kind of moves on to like gender linguistics, how like buddy might mean brother and it has quite positive connotations. But then words like sissy that might be like related to sister have like more negative connotations. It kind of like, oh, you're a bit of a sissy, like you're not really a strong person, you're not really like out there, you're a little bit meek and mild, and that is linked to like sister, a female. This is the point of this video that I was talking about earlier. If any of you guys are uncomfortable with me saying the word suicide, sexual abuse or domestic abuse, then either go right to the end of this video or just click off. That is absolutely fine. I completely understand if you feel uncomfortable, but it was part of our lecture and I think it is quite important to talk about. Because it's a creative arts lecture, we were given like artworks that supported feminism and things like that. But then we were shown an advert for a documentary called The Red Pill by Cassie J. Before it started, our lecturer said this woman basically went out, filmed this documentary and interviewed male rights activists. From the get-go, my mind went straight to, oh, this is going to be like another anti-maskers campaign, protesting for things that might seem ridiculous without that sounding insensitive. But we are not talking about anti-maskers or anything of that kind of genre, I guess. I don't know, plethora, I suppose. It was basically men fighting for the right to be recognised by law as able to be sexually abused and domestically abused. Because sexual and domestic abuse happens to men, but it's very rarely recognised by law as domestic abuse or sexual abuse. And 37% of domestic violence happens to men, but because it's so generalised to only happening to women, it's overlooked. And there's the fact that male suicide rates are higher than women's because men are maybe taught from birth to hide their feelings or not talk about their feelings, and that leads to them only finding one way out and not feeling as if they can actually talk about their feelings to anyone else, and that suicide is the only option for them. I know this is quite a heavy topic, so if anyone wants to discuss more in the comments, because I almost feel as if I've kind of only just brushed the surface of this. So if anyone wants to have a discussion in the comments about this, I would be happy to do so. There's also the fact that the title stay-at-home dad still isn't normalised. Parenting and like being there for your children is kind of perceived as still a female role. And again, that's crazy. There are all these things that are like on the complete opposite side of the gender bias and gender equality spectrum, the fight for gender equality, that I didn't even think about. So I want to end this video with a quote by Simone de Beauvoir from The Second Sex, and this is more generally related to feminism, and that you're not born a woman, you become one. And for women in this day and age, where in the modern day with all this technology and all of like the medical advances that we have right now, the fact that women are still not equal to men and that men feel like they can't talk about their feelings is crazy. It's crazy. So as you can tell, I really took inspiration and felt really empowered after listening to that lecture. I felt a lot more informed than I was previously before listening to that lecture, and therefore it was something that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm almost ashamed that I didn't know some of the things that I now know, and I thought it was important to share it with you guys. So thank you so much for watching. If we want to start a discussion in the comment section, I would be happy to oblige. You know me, I really enjoy replying to your guys' comments, and even more excited to reply to comments that could, you know, start a conversation and start fighting against that gender bias that so many people conform to, that I'm sure we've all conformed to at, you know, some point in our lives. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you on Monday. I'll see you on Monday for a Melody Monday. I'm excited for you guys to see it. I haven't edited it yet, so I haven't actually listened all the way through to the version of the song that I'm singing. We'll see how that goes. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you on Monday. If you're going out, stay safe, wear a mask. If not, stay at home, stay equally as safe. And I'll see you guys Monday. Bye everyone.